Here are 5 insane features of the all-new Genesis GV60 Magma. Despite being all electric, you can actually shift the GV60 Magma. Thanks to its virtual gear shift, you actually simulate an 8-speed DCT paired to a 6-cylinder engine that revs to 9,000 RPM. Now, I know it sounds a bit gimmicky, but in reality, it's actually awesome and makes driving an EV way more fun. Magma is Genesis's new high-performance brand. Think BMW M or Mercedes AMG. It's dual motor, all electric, making 641 horsepower, 583 pound-feet of torque, and 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds. But its quick acceleration is probably the least impressive part of this car, so stick around to the end of the video to see some of these epic features. Genesis loves to make extremely attractive concept cars, but the amazing part is the GV60 concept basically is exactly the same as the actual production car. So let's take a look at the exterior. I mean, how cool is it that we have an aggressive, fast SUV that has canards on the front that actually are functional? We have bespoke 21-inch wheels. We have massive 400mm front brakes with 4 piston calipers. Coming around to the back, they even kept that absolutely insane rear wing and massive rear diffuser, and the Magma Orange is fantastic. But honestly, as good as the exterior looks, get a load of the interior. We've got these awesome quilted Alcantara bucket seats that are super comfortable and supportive. I love the orange accents, the steering wheel with that Magma button and a boost mode, which we'll talk about more in a bit. But all of the design language is really impressive. We've spent the last couple of days in Korea, and something I've noticed is their design language and design philosophy is unbelievably impressive, and this is no exception. The GV60 Magma has a variety of different drive modes that are controllable via this Magma dial right here. If we turn this, you can switch between range mode, comfort mode, sport mode, but the best thing happens when you actually click on the Magma button. Then you've got a whole bunch of new bespoke dials and switch between GT mode, sprint mode, and my mode. Now, when we put it into sprint mode, you get that full 641 horsepower when you floor it fully. Now, we also have a really cool boost mode button. As you can see, there is a boost button on the right side of the steering wheel. If we press that, you have 15 seconds, it says boost ready, of maximum acceleration, basically to save wear and tear on the motor. So you've got 601 horsepower when you're in comfort mode, but when you hit that boost, we've got that 15 seconds of 641 horsepower. How cool is this? When the car is off, the shifter is this awesome crystallized illuminated ball, but then when you turn the car on, all of a sudden it flips over and allows you to put it into gear. I have never seen any other car have that feature, and I absolutely love it. The interior here is honestly really impressive. I mean, I'm just in love with the way this looks. Even the controls for the drive selector, go ahead and put it into reverse. We've got a nice backup camera. I love how you shift it into drive right here. Park is right there. And the infotainment system is really nice as well. This massive digital display. It's very easy to use, and the graphics are phenomenal. Well, it looks like all of the journalists have the same idea, because now we have 3 GV60 Magmas next to each other. Actually kind of a cool opportunity to check out this matte gray paint. Looks pretty awesome, but I think if you're gonna get this car, you gotta go with the Magma Orange. The steering wheel itself feels great in your hands as another matte gray GV60 Magma drives by with paddles to simulate that virtual gear shift, which we will see out on the road. So what does the virtual gear shift actually look like in practice? Well, it's actually pretty cool. We've put it into sprint mode, so we've got the full 641 horsepower. We are in drive. Now we've shifted it into manual mode, and watch this as we climb up a very, very cool canyon road, how it simulates an 8-speed DCT. When you shift, it actually has almost an ignition cut where you can feel the interruption in the acceleration in a very, very natural and intuitive way. And we also have that virtual sound generator that's supposed to simulate a 6-cylinder large displacement engine revving to 9,000 RPM. Now, it doesn't sound like a flat 6 in a GT3 RS or a BMW inline 6, but it actually is really cool in its own right. It's synthetic, but synthetic in a nice way. As Alex, who's in the passenger seat, was saying, it's not trying to be anything but itself, and it does a great job of being very, very unique, to the point at which Porsche is now copying the virtual gear shift. So we've got large 400 millimeter rotors. Obviously it's a heavy car, being that it is an EV, and you do feel the weight a bit. But for an SUV that's luxurious and not crazy priced, I think the body roll is actually pretty minimal. I would like a little bit more bolstering in these seats, but the steering weight is actually very natural as well. And then all of a sudden, you're stuck in traffic behind this Kia Carnival, and then you take it out of virtual gear shift. Now we don't have to shift whatsoever, and it's super silent, and you can just casually putt along at, we are going quite slow behind this guy. But yeah, I mean, you could drive this thing every single day, commute to work, take it to the gym, and then end up in one of the craziest canyon roads ever and absolutely thrash this thing up the hill. And it has a top speed of 164 miles an hour, which for an electric car is pretty good. They've got this kind of two-speed transmission, so to speak, that allows, typically EVs have lower top speeds, but this allows it to have a higher top speed. Another cool feature is when you are in sprint mode, the car knows you're trying to have fun, so if you come to a stop and floor the brake and the accelerator, it does a launch control. And that has a ton of grip, actually. I like the fact that you can downshift without having to worry about the fact that you might blow the motor, because there is no motor. This thing is actually a lot of fun. Now, if you take the car out of sprint mode and put it into a more normal mode, then we can activate something called boost mode. So let's go ahead and put it into comfort mode. And as you can see, there is a boost button on the right side of the steering wheel. If we press that, you have 15 seconds, it says boost ready, of maximum acceleration, basically to save wear and tear on the motor. So you've got 601 horsepower when you're in comfort mode, but when you hit that boost, we've got that 15 seconds of 641 horsepower, which is pretty darn cool. I also like the fact that the virtual sound generators are actually producing sound on the outside of the vehicle as well. So I think it might confuse a lot of people because it's a sound that nobody's ever really heard before. Another thing that's nice about the car is every single different drive mode has a different feel to the display. So right now when we're in range mode, we've got this nice sky, nice blue tint to it. We put it into comfort mode. Now all of a sudden we have some orange magma hues. You put it into sport mode. Now the dials have become more red. And then the best button is the magma button. Now we've got that triple dial set up, and we'll go ahead and put it back into sprint mode to have some fun climbing back up the hill. We also have a nice heads-up display as well, and this thing is really, really easy to drive. Good steering weight, the brakes work well. We haven't tested out the speaker system yet, but Bang & Olufsen never disappoints. For a race start, floor the brake, floor the accelerator, and off we go. This thing actually is pretty quick. Look, if this car didn't have virtual gear shift and it didn't have that sound generator, in my opinion, it'd be 10 times more boring. Like I said, I know it sounds gimmicky just listening to me talk about it, and when I first heard about it on the Ioniq 5N, I was like, are you guys joking? And then I drove it and was like, oh, this is not a joke at all. This is kind of the future of EVs. What I would love to see employed is actually using more of the real electric motor sound, almost kind of amplifying it like an acoustic guitar, so you get this natural sound. And it is absolutely doable, because if you listen to cars like the Excite rally cars, you hear this absolutely insane motor noise. They're not making stuff up. And then they actually have multiple speed transmissions. So the virtual gear shift is really cool, but if they took it one step further, they can actually make a multi-speed transmission in an EV, and I think that is the future of EVs. But you know they've nailed it when all of a sudden the Ioniq 5N won the heart of basically every journalist that drove it, and now all of a sudden Porsche, with their Taycan Turbo S, has come out with effectively the exact same thing. Now that we've come to a more relaxed section of road, it's a good opportunity to talk about the duality of this car. So if we click this button right here, all of a sudden the virtual gear shift goes away and the active sound goes away as well. Typically EVs are super good point A to point B cars. They're actually kind of the best commuter and around town cars possible. The acceleration is easy to place it on the road. If you need to pass anyone, it's quiet so you don't upset your neighbors, and it just makes it a breeze driving around. But the problem with that is if you're a car enthusiast, it makes it super, super boring. But it's pretty cool that then all of a sudden, at the click of a button, you can put this into a more aggressive setting. Let's go ahead and put it into sprint mode. And then you've got the virtual gear shift. And now you have an 8-speed DCT. How insane is this? I bet you weren't anticipating an electric SUV with a drift mode. So if we go into the infotainment screen and head to Magma, then we've got this awesome Magma display showing we're in sprint mode, but if we scroll over to the other side, you've got that virtual gear shift control, but we can also activate drift mode. We've got a whole bunch of warnings letting us know traction control is coming off, and then it will use the electronic limited slip differential and some torque vectoring, as well as changing the ramping of the accelerator to allow oversteer more easily to allow you to drift this thing. That's pretty sick. A little bonus feature for you guys. One of my favorite parts of this entire car is these stacked LED headlights. They almost look like something out of the Bugatti Chiron, but with even more little individual squares. The design language for Genesis is 2 lines. They actually do this sideways peace sign in photos. But it looks really, really striking. I even like the triple little vents in the front as well. I mean, you have to admit, that is a striking looking SUV. I mean, compared to something like a Porsche Macan, this is a lot more exciting visually. Man, what a car. Genesis, honestly, really impressive. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Like always, please browse the channel and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you next video.